got finished. It's the first night of the weekend, Friday night. And it was a pretty good show. Normally on the duo shows I do those with BJ, but he's out of town this weekend. So we had Chris Tucker on bass guitar.
Keep my mind on what I'm supposed to do. I'd rather spend all my time with you, that's right. I'm gonna see you tonight. I've been thinking about you all week. We're gonna make it tonight. Well, I lost my keys, I can't find my car, keep finding my thoughts are where you are. Left my house unlocked, all my bills are wrong, because tonight I know I'm gonna get.
And he's been a friend of mine for a long time. He's a great bass player, but hasn't played a lot of the songs with me just yet. And so we're still working through all the details of the songs, and that's fine. It was a lot of fun. I really like the manager at the Springdale JJ's. He's good at what he does, and he's making that place a lot of fun. I usually won't comment about that on a video, but in this case, he's doing such a great job that I can't imagine not saying something. But we'll see what happens with the rest of the night. We're playing down in Fayetteville tomorrow night, and we'll see how that goes. I got a question. So I'm pretty sure that a number of you who watch this channel are probably doing the same thing as me. You're a cover artist playing around town. I gotta put down in the comments whether you're able to eat before you play. Now, if you're not a singer, it's no big deal. But if you're a singer, I can't eat before I play. It just doesn't work. Thing I always tell people is the same muscles that you use to support and sing a song are the same muscles you use to throw up. It doesn't feel good to have a full stomach whenever you're playing a show. Maybe you can do it. If you can, let me know down in the comments. I can't do it. So that means that after a show, it's late, I want to be home, I want to crawl into bed and go to sleep. And what am I doing? I'm sitting in line at a McDonald's, waiting for my dinner. It's 11:06 at night. I'm hungry. I'm hungry! Feed me!
Fresh jeans on and my hat on straight. Put you up on this trunk on this hotel gate tonight. I'm gonna see you tonight. I've been thinking about you all week. We're gonna make it tonight. Well, I lost my keys, I can't find my car, keep finding my thoughts are where you are. Left my house unlocked, all my bills are unpaid, 'cause tonight I know I'm gonna get. Well, I lost my keys, I can't find my car, keep finding my thoughts are.
All right, so last night we started talking about just kind of my theory about making my area on the stage where I'm standing the most comfortable place that I possibly can. Reason being, if you're comfortable where you stand on the stage, that frees you up from worrying about how you're feeling and allows you to focus on putting on a show that the people in the audience are going to have a good time. You can kind of see what they're doing, see what their reactions are, read the room a little bit, instead of worrying about the fact that you can't hear your guitar, or that it's too hot, or that you can't remember the words, or the millions of things that are a distraction whenever you're playing a show. How do you go about thinking that through for yourself? Well, as you're playing shows, be aware of the things that are a distraction for you while you're standing on stage, that keep you from giving the full attention to the audience that you should. And come up with solutions for those things. And you don't have to fix every single problem or every single discomfort on the stage. But just always kind of keep that in the back of your mind. What could I do to make this spot the safest, most comfortable spot for me? So some of the things that I do to make my spot comfortable is I make sure that it's not blasting hot where I'm standing. I got a fan. These shows that we're doing that are cover shows are 3 hours, 4 hours long. I need to have access to something to drink, something to keep me hydrated. If you're gonna sing for 3 hours, you gotta keep the vocal cords hydrated. Nobody's got time to be bending over for a glass. I mean, if I was playing on the Grand Ole Opry, I wouldn't have a cup holder on my mic stand. But when I'm playing a 4-hour show, I'm gonna have a cup holder on my mic stand. You don't have to do that. If it makes you feel embarrassed or you don't think it is rock star or whatever, then don't do it. Because you're gonna need to think about the space that you stand on the stage to make sure that you feel the most comfortable you can. So this is my in-ear rack that I built. We will go part by part and talk about how I built that in a future video as well. But we always bring an in-ear rack and our own sound system to hook into the house system. They've got a cool little Yamaha board here, which goes straight up to their speakers up here on the ceiling. And we have a show. I'm able to control all the channels right here using my iPad. All right, so here's my pedal board right here. Let's take a look at it. I will go into depth in a future video how I set up my board. It's not the most beautiful board in the world, but it's functional. It works the way I need it to work. So here's where I stand on stage. So there's my pedal board. Got a fan right there, keeping me cool. Over here, got a place to put my drink. And then my iPad right here. You can see on the left, I've got my lyrics. And then on the right, there is my the way I control the sound system. So that's back here. We're on ears so that we don't have to use the wedges on the stage. Another thing I do to make sure that I have the most comfortable place to stand is I get to shows with enough time to have everything set up and then have, 15, 20, 30 minutes of just hanging out inside the venue. Maybe get yourself something to drink, maybe get a little snack, whatever it is that makes you feel more comfortable, and hang out. I want to be set up with my gear and be done. And I want to have just enough time for me to start feeling that first little bit of boredom. Because that's when I'm the most relaxed, whenever I kick off the show. If you ever have one of those setup times where, nothing is going right, pieces of equipment aren't working, you left something at the house that you are regretting, and you start the show frustrated, it takes a long time to shake that. You may not even be able to shake that. It may end up being a terrible show for you. So I want to make sure I have everything that I need, all the stuff, all the tools for the show, they're set up and then hanging out long enough to just start feeling that first little bit of boredom, because that makes me want to get the show started. I'm excited about getting it started. When I'm excited, it makes the first song fun. That's a great way to kick off the show. Every single venue is going to have a different sound system, if you're lucky enough to have a sound system provided. Different monitors, different mixing boards. Certain stages have better acoustics so that you can hear yourself in the monitor, while others have really bad acoustics, and it doesn't matter what you do with the monitors, you just can't seem to hear yourself. That's why I put together a in-ear monitor system. I didn't do it immediately. It wasn't the first thing I built when I started doing shows, but over time, as I saved up money, I slowly invested in the show. So I have a 6U rack that has 6 spaces on one side and 6 spaces on the other. It's got roller wheels, so it's easy to move in and out of a venue. And it has a Behringer XR18 board and a splitter that allows me to split the signal. Half the signal goes to my board, and if I'm running sound, I can take the main outs out of my board, send it to the house, and I can mix from where I'm standing on the stage. If we're lucky enough to have a sound person, the splitter allows me to send that sound person an unadulterated, unchanged version of all the channels on the stage, allowing the sound person to do whatever they need to do to make it sound great in the venue. And if we have a sound person who's taking care of the venue, then all we have to do is worry about our ears. The great thing about the Behringer XR18 or other rack mount mixers like that is the ability to save scenes. The first show you have with your mixer, your ears probably won't sound all that great. There will be some issues you have to iron out. But every time you make your mix a little better, you can save the scene. And now, whenever we show up to venues, even when we have the full band, everybody knows which channel that they're going to plug into. We put in our ears, and our mix is about 98% done. I don't know why. There always needs to be just a little bit of adjustment, but it's nothing like starting from zero every show, especially with different equipment and monitors that sometimes work, sometimes don't. Everyone's in charge of their own ears or their own in-ear pack, so they plug into the system, and most of the time sound check is pretty quick, because we don't have to worry about that. So that's another thing about making that spot on the stage the most comfortable spot you possibly can. Being able to hear what you need to hear to put on the show allows you to forget about all the technical details of standing on that stage. It allows you to focus on being a performer and engaging with the audience, listening to what they call out from the audience. And if a funny moment happens, you can laugh and engage in that funny moment. You just don't want to be so wrapped up in your own little world on stage that you miss the fact that performing music is a communal thing. The audience has a significant portion of your show in their hands, so you want to take good care of them. Think about your spot on the stage. Come up with one way that you can make that spot a little more comfortable every single time you hit the stage. Another thing I do when I'm preparing for a show is I like to listen to some good music while driving to the venue. Maybe some music with some nutritional value to it, a good performance, something that's inspiring. You know, you want to get that motor running before you get your hands on your instruments. I love podcasts and listening to conversations and that sort of thing. But generally before a show, I don't listen to podcasts. I make sure to listen to some music. Get some motor running in a good way. Get you prepared to go. Well, thanks for watching my channel. It's a brand new thing that I'm doing. I'm excited about sharing what it's like to be a professional musician in a smaller market, and just kind of hanging out with you guys who I bet a lot of you do similar things in your small market, playing cover music. It's a lot of fun. It's a good way to spend your free time. If you like what you're seeing, make sure to subscribe, click the like. Let YouTube know that you like what's going on here. Thanks for being a pioneer, somebody who's stepping in at the very beginning of the channel. You're one of the, you're a pioneer. Hopefully we can continue this on. We'll see. I'm only going to put out videos if I have something to say or it's fun to do. There's too many things in this world that burn you out and make you feel completely unhappy and worn out. I don't want putting together a YouTube channel to do that. But we'll see. All right, well, I'm at my exit. We're almost to JJ's in Fayetteville. We'll get set up, play a show. We got the power trio tonight. Bass, drums, me. No BJ, he's out of town. Beach Baby will be back soon. So, hey, see you at the show.
Well, I lost my keys, I can't find my car, keep finding my thoughts are where you are. Left my house unlocked, all my bills are unpaid, 'cause tonight I know I'm gonna get